Okay, I think I have everything working at this point. With the relatively good reviews that Dad of Boy has been getting, I felt like I'd like to play through the original God of War games before I turned to the new one. And this is 2005's God of War 1 remastered on the PlayStation 3. It still looks pretty rough, but it's a heck of a lot better than the PS2 version, I promise you. I'm just going to play through probably just on normal, at least for this first one. I want to try to get through all of them in a relatively timely fashion. So we'll start here.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece. After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness. But it had not always been this way. Kratos had once been a champion of the gods.
Foul beast! I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
Let me know if you still hear that echo. I was testing earlier and wasn't getting an echo, but who knows. So this is, like I said, 2005 God of War 1 from PlayStation 2 era. This is the one that was directed by David Jaffe, who directed the Twisted Metal games, and probably most famous for those two series. This is, I guess when this came out, my recollection was it came out to relatively little fanfare, but then I guess people started playing it and became more popular over time. I don't really... The first one's okay. The series definitely gets better with later entries, although this one is still pretty solid action game. A little button mashy, obviously. They hadn't quite perfected the formula yet, so there seemed to be a little bit more waves of enemies than are probably necessary, but overall, not a bad game. These upgraded visuals are still really rough looking. My understanding is this game's supposed to be running at 720 based on what the back of the box says. And yeah, this cutscene, that's standard definition. That looks like it's 480. But for some reason, my PS3 is playing it in 1080, and I'm not really questioning it. I'm actually right now capturing for the first time on my Elgato HD60 Pro, and because there's zero lag in the game preview, I'm able to actually just play on my computer monitor. But my computer monitor is 3440 by 1440 ultra wide, and so this looks especially rough since it's not the native resolution of the monitor. But yeah, I hate the mashing R2. So this is like the first PS. I gotta hold it for this one. The first PS3 game I played in a long time, and the DualShock 3 is a really small controller compared to the DualShock 4, and it's wonky going back to it. It also has the same problem with the DualShock 4 is that it has these convex rather than concave thumbsticks, so your fingers like to roll off the thumbsticks. L1 to block, good to know. And so it's a little wonky with the PS4 controller. I've replaced all my thumbsticks. Hydra. I've replaced all my thumbsticks with Xbox One thumbsticks, which just work right out of the box. You just open up the DualShock and replace the thumbsticks, and it's fine. And they're concave, so your thumbs don't slip off of them like they do with the default ones. But yeah, I'm having a little difficulty. My thumb just wants to keep creeping off this damn thing. And I am not playing well. I'm going to blame it on a slight amount of latency in the game preview. So there are 6 games in the God of War series that are playable on PS3. 5 of them are in the Origins collection, which is where I'm playing this one on. I bought it a couple of years ago. A little quick time event here. I bought it a couple of years ago. I've never played the PS3 versions. I've played the PS2 version several times. And yeah, I felt like this was probably the time to actually break it out and go through them before playing the newest entry in the series. A little platforming here. But yeah, it's I haven't played my PS3 in a while. And I'm not quite used to the controller anymore. I mostly play when I play games with the Xbox One Elite controller.
Stay away!
So it's a little
Stay
weird
away from me!
going back to the PS3.
I know who you are, Spartan. I know what you've done. I would rather die than be saved by you.
All of the UI elements look like they're
the ghost of
pretty low
Sparta.
definition as well.
Stay away! Stay away from me!
Yeah, all the UI elements look terrible. I think you're absolutely right on that. The other problem with the PS3 controller, and I won't bitch about it for too much longer, is the R2 and L2. Not the shoulder bumpers, but the triggers are designed so that they curve back in towards the controller. And as a result, your fingers want to slip off of them too. They don't look like trigger buttons. They're these sort of rounded shoulder buttons that curve away or curve towards the controller. It's a little annoying. All these incredibly low poly models. But yeah, this one, like I said, was directed by David Jaffe, and it feels noticeably different than the second one, which was directed by Cory Barlog, who I think directed the most recent one as well, the PS4 version, PS4 God of War that just came out. You'll see it a lot in a lot of the art style choices. The one that always sticks out to me is the way the gods look in this one compared to the way they look in God of War 2. Athena in this one is only ever a statue, and Ares doesn't really look like... Ares is very stylized. He's got like a big beard of fire and hair of fire. And then in God of War 2, the gods all look just like people, and it's a little weird. It's a little weird in comparison. It's one of those things I noticed that really makes it feel like it's got a different artistic vision behind it, which it did. So it makes sense. But yeah, look at this UI element for the health bar. It's rough looking. God of War infamous for its QuickTime events. Not my favorite part. But the button mashing ones aren't too bad. I'm pretty good at button mashing. Got that Mario Party, lifelong Mario Party experience. That helps me. One of the other things I discovered when I was doing test streams is I better not touch my desk at all, or the Blue Yeti will definitely pick it up. So my initial plan, with God of War 1 at least, was to beat it in a single sitting. My recollection is this game's pretty short. I haven't played it probably in a decade, but that's what I remember. But then I looked up on how long to beat earlier today and saw that the average time to beat was like 8 hours or 8.5 hours or something like that, which seems longer than I remember it being. But I'm not going to sit here for 8 hours. Not that. I'm not going to say I've never done that before, but I don't intend to do that tonight. These water textures feels very 2005. yeah, overall, other than the UI elements and the incredibly low poly models, and everything, it doesn't look too bad. It still plays well. The roll is a little unresponsive. I don't know if that's how it was on the PS2 or not. I don't know if it's because I'm playing at 1080 when I should be playing at 720. But the roll feels a little unresponsive, and the block doesn't really cancel the animation very well, so you kind of have to know when you want to block. Not try to block at the last second, which I believe there's a counter ability. Maybe it's not in this one. The Golden Fleece, that might be God of War 2. So I will probably fall off this and die a couple of times because of the thumbstick issue. I'm going to try to do this on the first try. These textures aren't the best either. I was watching a video review of this game earlier today, and the review was saying that Sony had completely redone all the visuals, and I just don't... I mean, look at the ground texture here. It's incredibly muddy. There's no way this was a redone ground texture. This is garbage. So I don't believe that review at all. But... almost died there. But that's what I was reading, or what I was seeing in the video review. But this looks just like it's upscaled. I do have this game on PS2. I don't have the discs with me. I do have a backwards compatible PS3, so I can't compare them side by side because they're in a storage unit in another state. But I'm guessing they wouldn't look all that different. But I could be totally wrong on that. Here's a save point up ahead, I think. That's got to be what this is.
It's you! The visions, they were real! The gods came to me, told me their champion would come and rescue us from the Hydra. But you're too late! We're pinned down! These creatures, they came from nowhere. The ships are all destroyed. All hope is lost, Spartan. Even for you.
So yeah, that cutscene is definitely standard definition. That was not HD. But okay, I remember this part. So one of the things I discovered with the HD 60 Pro is that in order to record a PS3 footage, I had to get a HDMI splitter because the PS3, the signal, I don't know if it's because it requires HDCP compliance or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it won't pass through. You just get a black screen. If you're not trying to record, the pass-through works, but the sound doesn't. So anyways, I fixed that problem. But that's one downside I've noticed with this one. I'm using the Pro, which is the internal PCIe card. I'm going to send a number of these people. Rather than the USB dongle version. Yeah, I agree with you, Paz, that Lords of Shadow does look a lot better on PC. I haven't fired up the PS3 version in quite a while, but my recollection is that you're correct. I have them on PC and on PS3, so I could do a side-by-side of that one. They definitely didn't redo. Maybe they redid Kratos' model, but they definitely didn't redo those models. Those look terrible. And pause. Let me know if you guys are going to do some BGs later on. I might be down. Was I supposed to get that here in one piece? Damn, that sucks. Okay. I guess I have to do the kick thing. It was instructing me to do, yeah. God damn it. through there. Perfect. That's not gonna work. Okay, I think I made it. Proud of myself, did it. First time, every time. That didn't work. I guess I didn't make it there in time. I forgot about this stupid climbing combat thing. Wow, this is compelling gameplay. That's right, you just grab him and do it. That's right, now I'm remembering how to do this correctly. So far, this does seem to be running pretty well. I'm also recording this at the highest possible quality, so I'm curious to see how that turns out. Oh, I should dodge. I think there's one more Hydra head coming up here somewhere. This should be a Gorgon Eye. Yep. That's one of the interesting mechanics in this one. I could be wrong, this may only apply to the second one. My recollection is that the way those Gorgon Eye chests work is if you have a certain number of Gorgon Eyes when you reach a chest, it'll give you red orbs. But otherwise, it'll give you a Gorgon Eye or a... I forget what the feathers are called. But it's designed in such a way that you can miss like one of these Gorgon Eye chests and still end the game with maximum health. So it's a little bit more forgiving than if you just missed one chest, you'd be screwed. And I'm going to get my first magic here.
Lord Poseidon.
Kratos, before you reach Athens, there is a task you must complete. This beast, this Hydra, it has terrorized my seas for far too long. Your skills are admirable, but you will need assistance. You will need the power of the gods. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemies. Go with the gods, Kratos. Go forth in the name of Olympus.
Okay. What's interesting about Poseidon here is that if you compare him in this game to what he looks like when you finally see him in God of War 3, he seems to be old here. He doesn't seem that old in God of War 3. So that's another example. God of War 3 had a different director than God of War 1 or 2. It wasn't Cory Barlog. I don't remember who directed God of War 3, but it was some long-time Sony Santa Monica person who had worked on the previous God of War games. Sort of like how Cory, I think, had worked under David Jaffe. But unlike the difference between God of War 1 and God of War 2, where it felt like it was just different artistic visions, God of War 3 feels very much like somebody was given a script and told, this is how you're going to make the game. And as a result, I think it's probably the weakest story entry in the series, at least of the games I've played. I haven't played through all of Ghost of Sparta. I started it but didn't finish it on the PSP, and I haven't even touched Ascension. I have it. It was given away for free. Well, not for free. It was a PlayStation Plus game at some point a couple of years ago when I turned on my PS3 randomly and saw it, and so I downloaded it. I haven't played it before. I will eventually play it as part of this.
Back! Get them away from the ship! Why won't they die?
It's the giant one! He keeps healing the others!
No, God! We'll never get out of here! Doomed! We're doomed! We're off! Save me!
Okay, sorry to... Wow, that was loud. Sorry to just cut out like that. I always hate it when I'm watching a stream or a Let's Play and somebody talks over the cutscene, so I'm actually hitting the mute button on my mic every time a cutscene happens. So if it's rather abrupt like that, I apologize. But I will eventually get through Ascension at some point during this series playthrough. I guess I don't have a choice. No, I do have a choice, okay. I want to try to finish this off with this one here on the left. But yeah, I haven't played it. I know it has multiplayer. I don't know if the servers still work. I guess they probably did. I didn't really look into it, but the game didn't come out that long ago. It kind of came out at the very tail end of the PS3's life cycle, so it may in fact still work. And I will actually try to remember to use my magic, because I generally never use it in these games. It's not the best strategy. Nope, probably shouldn't have used it there, man. One of the other things I hate about this game is you dodge with the right stick. It's incredibly obnoxious. Not really clear to me what these hooks are supposed to do. If it's hurting me or not. I'll watch my health bar this time. No, it is hurting. Okay, it's unblockable. Ow. So I'm also not planning on playing through the Trials of... I think it's called Trials of the Gods in this one. I did beat them all on PS2 at one point. I remember it being incredibly tedious, and I don't ever really plan to play through this again, so I don't see any huge advantage in unlocking extra costumes that I'll never use. I'm sure there are videos of that. There are also special unlockable like bonus videos that you get for beating the game on hard that I'm not going to get since I'm playing for a normal. It's not hard. I think it's actually like the highest difficulty, which is called like God or something. That one doesn't have as much wind up. Okay, so now I should actually be able to kill this damn thing. Missed that. Yeah, this is not the most compelling boss fight. That's not good. Jesus, man, I should play it on easy. Finally.